What if I told you my car made it past 730,000 miles without a rebuilt engine, without constant shop visits, and without costing me a fortune? It wasn't luck. It wasn't magic. It came down to 13 quiet habits, simple routines that anyone can follow, but most drivers completely ignore. And habit number 13? That one's special. It's the game changer almost no one talks about, but it might be the reason my engine's still alive today. In this video, I'll reveal all 13 habits that quietly kept my car running far beyond what anyone thought was possible. Habit number 1, the check and top off routine. The first habit is all about your engine's lifeblood, the oil. Most people think about oil only when it's time for a full change, maybe every 5,000 or 7,000 miles. But what's happening in between those changes is what really matters. The habit is simple. Check your oil level every 1 or 2 times you fill up with gas. And here's the key. Don't just check it, top it off if it's even a little bit low. The reason this is so crucial and so often missed is because cars, even new ones, can consume or slowly leak a small amount of oil over thousands of miles. That change oil soon light? That's a warning for a problem, not a reminder for a habit. If you're constantly driving with low oil, your engine's critical components are being starved, leading to friction and premature wear. This one habit, this simple act of checking and topping off, keeps your engine consistently lubricated and running smoothly. It's the difference between a car that barely makes it to 150,000 miles and one that just keeps going. Habit number 2, the coolant system check, the silent killer. This habit is all about a fluid that's often completely forgotten until it's too late, your coolant. We call it antifreeze, but its real job is to manage your engine's temperature. The habit is to periodically check the coolant reservoir's level and, more importantly, its clarity. The fluid should be at or near the full line when the engine is cool. But that's only half the story. The real pro move here is to look at the color and consistency of the fluid itself. It should be a clean, uniform color, like a bright green, pink, or yellow, depending on your car. If you see it looking rusty, cloudy, or worse, like a milky sludge, you have a serious problem on your hands. This is the silent killer of engines. People assume coolant is a set-it-and-forget fluid, but over time, it breaks down and loses its ability to protect against corrosion. That milky sludge I mentioned? That's a sign of a failing head gasket, which is one of the most expensive repairs you can face. Checking your coolant's clarity is an early warning system. It lets you catch a slow leak or an impending catastrophic failure long before your temperature gauge ever even thinks about rising. Habit number 3, listen for the subtle sounds habit. This habit costs you nothing and takes less than a minute. It's the listen for the subtle sounds habit. Every single time you start your car, before you turn on the radio or check your phone, just take 30 seconds to listen. What are you listening for? Anything that sounds new. A new squeal, a clunk, a persistent rattle you've never heard before. Why is this so powerful and so often missed? Because we're all in a hurry. We start the car, put it in drive, and go. We're conditioning ourselves to ignore the car until something major goes wrong. But your car is an orchestra of moving parts, and when one instrument goes out of tune, it's telling you a story. That new squeal could be a failing serpentine belt that's about to snap and leave you stranded. That rattle could be a loose heat shield that, if left alone, could damage other parts. That low hum could be a worn wheel bearing that's a safety hazard. Learning to listen to your car gives you a sixth sense. It lets you catch these small, cheap problems before they become catastrophic and expensive failures. It's the ultimate form of preventative maintenance. Habit number 4, slow down and coast approach. This habit isn't about what you do under the hood, it's about how you drive. It's the slow down and coast approach. We've all been conditioned to drive a certain way, accelerate, and then brake hard at the last second. But watch this. I see the red light ahead, so I'm lifting my foot off the gas now, giving the car a chance to coast. This is the habit most drivers completely miss. They see coasting as lazy or inefficient, but it's the opposite. This simple change in your driving style has massive long-term benefits. You're reducing the stress on your entire braking system, the pads, rotors, and calipers, which saves you money and extends their life. You're also being much gentler on your transmission and your suspension. Think of it this way. Every time you brake hard, you're putting your car through a small amount of unnecessary violence. By learning to anticipate traffic and coasting, you're driving with intention, not just reaction. It's a simple, subtle habit that quietly adds hundreds of thousands of miles to your car. Habit number 5, never ride the brakes rule. This could save your life and your wallet, especially if you live in a hilly area. Most people drive down a long hill with their foot lightly pressed on the brake pedal the entire way. They're literally riding the brakes. But the simple habit is this: use a lower gear to let your engine do the braking for you. This is a habit that's often missed because it feels counterintuitive. We're taught to use the brakes to slow down. But riding your brakes on a long descent builds up immense heat. That heat can warp your rotors, cause brake fade where they become less effective, and prematurely wear out your brake pads. This puts a huge amount of stress on your entire braking system. By downshifting, you're using engine braking. You hear the engine RPMs go up, but that's exactly what's supposed to happen. It's a simple, free technique that keeps your brakes cool, extends their lifespan, and ensures they'll be there for you when you really need them. Habit number 6, gentle acceleration technique. Most of us are in a rush. We see a green light, and we want to get up to speed as fast as possible. But the simple habit is to accelerate smoothly and gradually. Don't stomp on the gas. Why is this so crucial and so often missed? Because punching the gas pedal puts a huge amount of unnecessary stress on your car. It's a jolt to your engine, your transmission, and your entire drivetrain. Your transmission, in particular, is an incredibly complex and expensive component. Every time you accelerate hard, you're making it work overtime, wearing out clutch packs and gears much faster than they should. This habit might feel like you're driving slow, but you're not. You're driving smart. Gentle acceleration extends the life of your most expensive components and, as a bonus, improves your fuel economy. It's a small change in behavior that makes a massive difference over hundreds of thousands of miles. Habit number 7, check your tire pressure accurately. The habit is simple. Check your tire pressure with a physical gauge at least once a month. I know what you're thinking. My car has a TPMS system. It tells me when the pressure is low. And that's where the problem is. The car's tire pressure monitoring system is a last resort warning system. It only alerts you when your tire pressure is dangerously low, not when it's simply incorrect. And even a few pounds under or over the recommended pressure can have a huge impact. Driving on underinflated tires causes uneven wear on the outer edges, which drastically shortens their lifespan. Overinflated tires wear out down the middle. Maintaining the correct pressure, the one listed on the sticker inside your driver's door jamb, not the number on the tire itself, improves your fuel economy, makes your tires last thousands of extra miles, and reduces the stress on your suspension components. It's an easy, cheap habit that makes a massive difference. Habit number 8, tire rotation isn't a suggestion. Most of us just get new tires and run them until they're bald. But the simple habit is to stick to a regular schedule for tire rotation every 5,000 to 7,000 miles. This is missed because people don't realize how different the wear is on each tire. The front tires on a front-wheel drive car do most of the steering, braking, and accelerating, so they wear out faster. Without regular rotation, you're creating an uneven wear pattern, sometimes called cupping or feathering, that dramatically shortens the life of your tires. By regularly rotating your tires, you're making sure they all wear down at the same rate. This not only extends the life of your expensive tires, but also puts less stress on your wheel bearings and suspension components. It's a simple, proactive step that keeps everything working in harmony, saving you money and ensuring your car handles safely for years to come. Habit number 9, wash and wax seriously. The habit is simple. Wash your car regularly, especially if you live in a climate with road salt or near the coast. And twice a year, give it a good coat of wax. This is missed because people think washing your car is just for looks. But it's your first line of defense against rust, which is the ultimate silent killer of a car. Road salt chemicals and dirt don't just make your car look bad, they slowly eat away at the paint and metal. This happens on the surface, but also underneath, where rust can take hold and eat away at your undercarriage, your brake lines, and your car's structural components. A clean, protected car is a structurally sound car. Washing and waxing creates a protective barrier that keeps moisture and corrosive elements from damaging the metal. It's a simple, inexpensive habit that will keep your car from literally falling apart from the bottom up. Habit number 10, check your cabin air filter. The habit is to check and replace your cabin air filter every 15,000 to 20,000 miles. And if you've never done this, get ready to be disgusted. This habit is missed because, well, most people don't even know their car has a cabin air filter. They wait until their AC starts blowing weakly, or worse, starts to smell like a locker room after a game. But by then, it's already causing damage. A clogged filter chokes the airflow to your car's ventilation system. This puts a huge strain on your HVAC blower motor, which has to work overtime to push air through all this gunk. A new blower motor can be an expensive, complicated repair. But this filter? It's cheap, and it only takes a few minutes to replace yourself. This simple $10 habit saves you a $200 repair and keeps the air you breathe clean and fresh. Habit number 11. Check for fluid leaks. The habit is simple. Every time you park in the same spot, take a quick glance under your car. You're looking for any new spots on the ground, a drip of oil, a puddle of coolant, or a stain from transmission fluid. This habit is missed because we're always in a hurry. We pull in the garage, get out, and rush inside without a second thought. But that small drip is your car's way of telling you that a seal or a gasket is starting to fail. Catching it early lets you replace a cheap gasket or a simple hose before the problem escalates. The alternative is letting it go unnoticed. A slow oil leak can eventually lead to your engine running dry and seizing. A coolant leak can cause a catastrophic overheat. A transmission fluid leak can lead to a complete transmission failure. This simple 2-second glance prevents a small, inexpensive fix from turning into a major, engine-destroying repair. Habit number 12. Don't drive on empty. The habit is simple. Refuel when your tank is around a quarter full. Don't push it until the low fuel light comes on. This is a habit that's missed because we love to live on the edge. We push it until the last possible minute. But here's the science behind it. Your car's fuel pump, which is an expensive part to replace, uses the gasoline around it to stay cool. When you run your tank down to near empty, that pump isn't fully submerged anymore. It's running hot, working harder, and wearing out much faster than it's designed to. Running on fumes repeatedly is like putting your car's heart through a stress test every single week. This habit of keeping your tank at a quarter full or higher keeps the fuel pump submerged and cool, ensuring it lasts for the life of the car, not just for a few years. It's a simple change that protects one of the most vital and often forgotten components of your car. Habit number 13. Mind your keys. The habit is simple. Don't hang a heavy keychain with dozens of keys from your ignition. When you're driving, all of that weight is putting constant downward pressure on your key cylinder. This habit is missed because we all love a good keychain. But that weight, over years of bouncing around, slowly wears out the tiny, internal pins inside your ignition tumbler. It loosens things up, and eventually, the cylinder can't read the key correctly, or worse, it can get stuck. An ignition cylinder replacement isn't a cheap fix, and it's a huge headache to deal with. This tiny detail, simply taking your other keys off the ring when you drive, is a habit that costs you nothing and saves you from a frustrating and expensive repair down the road. It's a perfect example of a little bit of foresight leading to a lot of longevity. So there you have it, 13 habits that took my car past 730,000 miles. You won't find these in the severe driving conditions section of your owner's manual. They aren't about a one-time fix or an expensive upgrade. They are the quiet, daily disciplines that add up over time, preventing problems before they ever start. This isn't about being a master mechanic, it's about being an attentive owner. It's about listening to your car, anticipating its needs, and taking a few moments to do the small things right. Don't feel like you have to start with all 13 at once. Pick just one of these habits and make it a part of your routine. You'll be amazed at the difference it makes in the life and longevity of your car.